In this video, I am going to show you how to create a mould like this, out of something like this, to create beautiful resin pieces like this, out of this stuff. Eye gum, Resin Pro eye gum, part A, part B. So join me while I make moulds. And what are these? Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to mix the part A and the part B together in equal parts. So if we're putting 20 grams of A, we need to put 20 grams of B, 50 grams of A is 50 grams of B, etc, etc. So equal parts. So I'm going to, I don't want to waste cups and stuff, so I'm going to put it straight onto my weighing scales on one of these little plastic Polly Pockets. I'm going to do, let's just see. So we're going to spoon it out and plop it on like so. That's 13. $40, 47, 52. Let's start with 52. We'll see where that gets us. So now we're going to do 52 of the yellow one as well. So, oh, actually that's now gone up to 55. So let's do 55. So turn it off, turn it on again. Then you don't even have to do any maths. So it will just tell you when you get to 55. And as you get closer, just put smaller amounts on. 42, 56. Oh, let's just take a tiny little bit off and see what that does. 54. That'll do. That'll do. Okay. And then it's just a case of mixing this stuff. Now it's non-toxic. I'm wearing gloves for two reasons. One, I've been playing with paint, and so I can't promise that my hands are completely clean, but also it means that I'm not going to be transferring my oils from my fingers onto this. And you never know, just because it's non-toxic doesn't mean that you aren't going to have an allergic reaction to it. So I'm just wearing gloves, and I am literally just going to mix this all up now for quite a while until I get a kind of pale yellow, and then I'll know that it's been completely mixed. Okay, so I'm happy with that now. That's all melded together quite nicely. There's no white strands in there, so it's mixed together nicely. So now it's just a case of putting it down and pressing my item into it. You can do this with proper mould making kits where you've got a square plastic outside and you push all this in, but you can equally just do it by hand, because at the end of the day you're not going to use this stuff if you're a professional mould maker. You're using this stuff if you've just seen something that you really like, that you want to make a copy of at home for your own use, or for use for making something for your family or whatever, because obviously remember copyright rules. If it's copyrighted, you aren't allowed to replicate it and sell it, but if it's not copyrighted, then you can. So I'm now very slowly, because I don't want to create any air bubbles, just pushing down there. Got one bubble there. I want to try and get the whole thing level and even, so that when my mould comes, when my item comes out, it's all nice and level. So I'm just going to grab, bear with me, I'm just going to grab this book, and it's a very good book if you're into books. I'm just going to push down like so, and then peel off. I'm going to do that once more. Push down and peel off. So if you can see, I've got about a centimetre depth there, and we'll just see if that works. So I'm going to use this. It says Joy. It's got loads of sparkles on it. Now this might just come off in the mould, but I'm hoping that it creates a kind of druzy effect. We will see. And all I'm going to do is place this where I want it. This is where I find out whether or not I've pressed this down enough. I think it needs to be a tiny little bit wider. Hang on, let's go for a little bit more. Let's try it now. That feels a bit better. Ooh. Put it there, and then I'm going to use my book again, very gently. I'm going to push a little bit, pick it up, I'll push it once more, and there you go. I'm going to leave that now. With this in it, I'm just going to pat the sides. I don't want to waste any of this. I can use some of this on my next project. Take that away. By puffing it up, I'm creating a nice little edge. It's worth taking the time to make sure that it's really hugging it. Okay, so now you can see that my, what we call a blank is in there. And when I take the blank out, it will leave that void, but I'm not going to take the blank out until this has set. So when that one is set, we can come back and have a look at it. Okay, what do you reckon? Moment of truth? Shall we see? I may have left these a little bit longer than it says to, because I got sidetracked with something else. So it's been about an hour now. I'm being delicate because I know I rolled these quite thin, so I know the base is going to be quite thin, and I don't want anything to stick and tear, so I am being delicate. What do we reckon? Now I have absolutely no idea what this is going to come out like. There is glitter in there, but I don't think that's going to transfer. It might do. I also did this one, which is Hope. And again, I'm just taking my care, my time, because again, I did make this quite thin, because it's expensive stuff, but it's so quick and easy, and you haven't got that worry of it spilling everywhere, leaking everywhere. And because these aren't flat, what it does is it kind of, if you try and pour silicone, runny silicone over something like this, you haven't got a flat base to work with. Whereas with this, you're kind of creating the flat base by not putting it completely submerged. Don't know if that makes sense. Oh, this one's a bit tricky. Let's get this out. And there. So I will make something out of these, and then I'll tag them onto the end. So I didn't make these, but I will make something out of these, and I will tag it onto the end so that you can see how it all comes out. I have also done this one, but I'm waiting for that one to set. And having seen the hassle I had with this one, getting all these bits out, I'm really not looking forward to pushing these bits through, but maybe I'll show you that one at the end as well. Well, we're back, and I thought I would show you the finished result. So that's with some glitters in there that I get from Yvonne Bishop, part of Resin Supply's Den, and that's the Paula, I think a couple of different Paulas mixed together. That's it from the back. And from the front I also drew some gold lines on the mould with my gold pens that I stock. I think it's quite successful. What do you reckon? And there's the one that was Hope. Not bad for a test run there. I also made a mould for this one off screen, just to see what it would be like, because I thought it was more intricate with all these little gaps and stuff, and it's worked out really well, as you can see. And I've used again the same glitter mix from Yvonne. So altogether I am really happy with how these turned out, and the mould was made obviously within an hour, ready to use. I didn't actually use it till the next day just to be on the safe side, but I think I could have used it if I wanted to. And yeah, I really hope that that's interested you and maybe inspired you to go and make your own moulds with things that you see that you like.